Today you're in the kitchen with me and we are going to make some apple crisp. It's that time of the year and I'm going to make for you my favorite dessert. I hope you stay tuned to find out how do I make it. It is a long time recipe from a very close friend of mine who happens to be very plain Mennonite. The recipe is really simple. We're going to take some of my apple pie filling that I have lots of videos on because it's my favorite thing to can in the fall. I have so much apple that I don't need to can them this year. So I'll share with you right above, right here. See my finger? It's up here. I'll show you the link to my apple pie filling. So we're going to make 2 quarts of apples. We have my very old basin here that I use. So the crumb topping is really simple to make. Notice the vintage items that I'm using. 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of oatmeal. I like the old-fashioned oatmeal, not the quick oats. Now this is a lot of topping because I love a lot of topping on my apple crisp. And it's 1 teaspoon of some cinnamon, and then it's 1 cup of melted butter. So here is our butter. So I'm going to go ahead and soften this butter up just a little bit, and then we'll put the crumbs on topping on top of our apples. Go ahead and pour our butter in. And we're going to make our crumbs. It's like an apple cobbler. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put our crumbs like this. Now these crumbs are actually going to bake and it's going to be so delicious. This is a recipe that I just love and we have been using it for all these years. We want to make sure we get everything coated on top. And there is our apple crisp. Now this has a lot less sugar than what you would find other places. I want to make a dessert that is a little bit more healthier and it's easy on the wallet. Apple crisp is what you want to bake. So let's put this in the oven and then I'm going to share with you just one little frugal tip that has to do with butter. I do almost all my cooking with butter, and butter is something that can be really expensive. I don't use margarine or anything like that. Butter is what we use. But I want to give you just a little tip. I buy my butter like this in 1 pound block and it's not cut. That kind of butter is usually a lot cheaper than ones that are cut already in sticks. This is what was left over from my apple crisp. So this butter here is going to be used for cooking. I have some butter that's for baking, and so what I do is I already cut it up in little cubes. So when you want to add a little bit to any of your vegetables that you're cooking, or you want to add it to your peas, or you want to add a little bit to making spaghetti, if you add a little bit in your water, it's already cut up in cubes. And this is how I have my butter. And when you're baking, you can actually make your own sticks with it, and it saves a lot of money. At least for me it does in my area. As you know, everybody's stores are different, everybody's region is different, but for me, this is a lot more frugal way to buy butter. And I put my butter in here, and then I will vacuum seal this, and this will stay fresh for at least 2 months. Another little frugal tip, take a look sometime at the store. See if you can buy butter in bulk that's not cut. I bet you it's going to be a little bit cheaper. At least it is for me. I'll get back to you in just a little bit when our dessert is finished. Yum, yum. I'm hungry for some apple crisp. 1 hour later. Doesn't that look delicious? We're going to let it rest for 10 minutes and then we'll give it a try. Everyone, so here we go for a special treat. Now every time I see this video, I'm going to be hungry for this. I know what's going to happen. So, we're going to have a little bit of ice cream. Yum, yum. And our apple crisp. Take a look at that. Doesn't that look good? The apples are still hot. It was really good. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Make some apple crisp today. It's the perfect time of the year. Apples and spices. It makes things really good. Early on the homestead, and it is leaf raking season. Now we have tons and tons of leaves. We have trees all around our property, and so the trees in the front get in the garden. But these back here, I burn them simply because it's just too many leaves to drag so far to the front of the house. So I'm working today, and this is just part of my everyday life. Every season has its chores. And I thought you would enjoy coming along with me and just seeing what I'm working on today. So after I get these leaves finished, then we're going to make a meal. So what do I do every day? I wake up in the morning, I get my household chores done, and then I start making videos. That's usually how it goes. I'm the kind of person that I like my environment clean, and I like it all ready to make my videos. So let's get started. Helps getting work done when you get up at 5 a.m. So these leaves I'm just gonna have to keep raking on a pile so they all burn up before it gets windy. Thank goodness we don't have any wind today. You know what fall season is, it's a lot of wind. Now I'm gonna have to probably do this 15 times before the end of the season. It is a lot of work, but I realize if I do a little bit at a time, it's not so much. And that's one thing I'm learning about my age. My hubby requests all the time is my chicken noodle soup. I have so many videos on it, so I'm not really going to show you how I make it as far as in detail description because I have so many videos. But I use my homemade chicken broth, my home canned corn, which you use the liquid because the liquid has the nutrients. So we just pretty much dump everything into one big kettle. This time I have some frozen turkey that we're going to put in it. Sometimes I use my canned chicken. I love to can leftover turkey from Thanksgiving. So we're just going to put that all in. I had some spring onions that I had frozen. We're going to just put that in because that needs to get used up. Then all I have to do is add some carrots that need to get used up. One thing about soup, it's so neat. You can just throw everything in a pot and heat it up. I have 2 fruit dryers going with the rest of those limes, and finally all the food from this month's pantry is preserved. Today's a busy day. I have a lot of leaves to blow and rake. This is a busy time of the year for me. Getting all these leaves all these leaves cleaned up. Our whole property is full of trees. We love in the summertime because it's not so hot. Boy, it's a lot of work though in the fall. Alright, so we got everything put together. Looks good to me. Now we get the lid on it, and then I'll show you when it's boiling. As you see, I didn't add any seasonings. I don't add any seasonings until my food is just about finished. It's because of your generosity and making sure that you're subscribed to me and making sure your thumbs ups are sticking and making sure that you're sharing my channel. It's because of all of your generosity. That is what's keeping me going in such times like this. You know, conservative channels aren't very popular on this kind of platform, but I really want to thank you guys for everything you've done, because you guys were the voice and you guys made yourself known and heard, and I really want to thank you guys for that, because you are the ones that are making a difference in my life and in my channel. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.